Are you ready, Mrs. Testa? How many dresses will you wear? Goosebumps, 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 goosebumps. Who's doing your makeup and hair? Whew, next question is the root of all of my problem, because one of them is not dress. Breathe in. Hello everybody and welcome to another video. You can see my usual same good old background and you're probably wondering, what happened? Why are you there? Well, technically we're starting a little bit in the future and by the time you're watching this, probably tied a knot already, which is the big news. And I would think that maybe if you check out my other platforms, you will now find out that I posted also my wedding dress. Or if not just yet, then in next few minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna stop blabbing right now and I will let you go and enjoy this video. But I just wanted to let you know that hopefully, providing that both Filippo and I said yes, I'm now a married woman. Okay, we're en route to facial, which is just gonna be a very, very simple, easy hydra facial to clean my pores, to give it a nice little, you know, refresh before the big day. Tomorrow morning I have my nail appointment that I really need. But that's gonna be kind of the last beauty treatment, I think. Yeah, I might book a lymphatic drainage in Milan for like a day before or so. We'll see how I feel about that. But nothing really planned at the moment. Those are my last little touch-ups before the moment itself. By now you guys have seen everything, so hope everything went so smoothly and so well. And my nerves are better than Filippo's. Filippo is having moments that now he cannot fall asleep. He's a little bit stressed about his vow writing. The vows are taking a lot of his attention and pressure. He also is like a freestyler normally, so he's not really used to writing things in advance, you know what I mean? But it's okay. With the hydrofacial, I just tell you how much of a type B and relaxed bride I am. I went to a place where I have never tried a hydrofacial before. Here in Monaco, I haven't had a hydrofacial in Monaco. I'm going to Amvo, Monaco, where I normally get my nails done. I'm going there tomorrow to get my nails done as well. And basically, I'm just, you know, normally brides are like not experimenting with their skin or with their stuff like in the week of the wedding. And we are in the week of my wedding, but I feel very, very chill and comfortable with things like that. I'm not feeling any kind of Brazilla feels, you know, like nothing needs to be perfect. I just want to take some things off my back in a way, you know, like if my skin can look nice, it can look nice. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You can't force things like marriage itself. Wedding shouldn't be forced either. So let's get in. So good, that's what I need.
Especially if you have a lot of stress, you know.
Yes.
Lights. It's very important.
My main goal is hydration and glow.
Yeah.
What I also love about hydrofacial is that when I get an occasional breakout, it really helps me dry it, you know?
Yeah, it's because of salicylic and glycolic acid inside of the peel. So.
Love it. Wow, so glowy actually, and so relaxed. We're going for a dinner. I don't need the jacket, but inside I do. I'm wearing a Chanel jacket. The top is literally like my favorite, and it's so affordable. I love it so much. Chanel jeans, my Haggleston heels, my little pochette. That's it. We're going for a little cipriani. I'm actually very excited to eat because I'm starving. I'm gonna answer some questions because I promised to answer for the longest time and I knew you guys need to hear me say some of these things. And now for the first time ever, I can be fully honest with you guys without kind of keeping anything for myself. And I'll tell you why after opening the very first question, which is, are you ready, Mrs. Testa? And the answer is, I am already Mrs. Testa. Ah! Goosebumps, 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 goosebumps. Okay. Breathe in. So in this portion of this vlog, I intend on answering some questions because genuinely, I do not want to skip an upload. Why would I skip an upload? I don't normally skip uploads. about that later. I felt like I also want to answer some questions, and I genuinely don't really even know what to vlog about because my life right now is all about calls, constant texts, random cold calls from like group chats, vow writing, outfit planning. I need to pack. There's so much going on. Also, I need to pack, and for the first time ever, I cannot really forget anything. I'm bringing my wedding dresses with me, you guys. I'm bringing things that I need on my wedding day, and I cannot forget a thing. So I really, really need to make sure that I'm focused and I'm not just like throwing things in as I feel. Let's do some of these, like go through my day while answering to some of your questions. And the first question is, what fragrance are you wearing for the wedding? Now, this is a very good question. And I was actually thinking about it this morning. I have not made up my mind yet. I have two options. And the only reason why I'm in between. So one of the fragrances, I will let you know when I decide, but one of the fragrances I love so much, is my favorite fragrance, but I wear it all the time. Like every single day I wear it. So it's not gonna remind me of my wedding day when I smell it. And I want to have a unique fragrance that is going to remind me of my wedding day. So should I wear my signature fragrance on my wedding day, or should I wear something else that when I smell, it will remind me of my wedding day? But it's not my favorite fragrance. Well, by the time you're watching this, you cannot really help me because I would have already gone through the ceremony. So I don't know how to even answer that question, but hopefully you will know. I will answer that question after the wedding. How many dresses will you wear? I have 4 custom dresses made for me by 4 different designers, which is very exciting. But I have altogether 5 looks actually, because one of them is not dress. 5 looks in total, which kind of seems crazy. And so far, all of them have been delivered besides my ceremony dress, which is very concerning. How many days of wedding? Altogether 3 days of wedding, which I think is very fast. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to the party with all the people that we love. Who's doing your makeup and hair? I think like this is quite a big question and an important topic. If you guys know me, you know that I always do my own makeup. I love doing my own makeup, right? So initially my thought was that I'm gonna do my own makeup, and why not? I want to look how I look always. I don't want to incorporate any trends. I don't want to do things that are too trendy or too vibey, or I don't want to look like I'm going to Fashion Week. I want to look like who I am. So initially I was going to do my own makeup, and at one of the fittings for my wedding, for my ceremony wedding dress, I was speaking to the team and they asked me, who's doing your makeup? And I said, oh, I'll do my own makeup. And they said, oh, we think that's a very bad idea because you will be so stressed on the day. There'll be so many things to do. You just want to feel like you're sitting there and not doing anything. You shouldn't be doing stuff on your wedding day. So it kind of put a little bug in my head. Normally I'm a very, very decisive person. It's very difficult to sway my opinion. So when I have an opinion, that's it. Like I decided on my dress in 2024, you know what I mean? Saying that, I absolutely had no idea like what to do for that. But I don't want to have like a fashion look, but I don't want to have a bridal look either. I want to have someone who's just going to make me feel pretty about myself. And it was so easy for me to decide for Andrea Ali. I've spoken about her during the Cannes Film Festival vlog. You guys have seen it. I met her several times. She's such a sweetheart. I like her energy, and energy was one thing that I thought about the most. So it was something that for me was the most important thing. How someone is on my important day, on my big day, I need to know how someone's energy is, and I really liked her energy, so that was a very easy one. We did do a makeup trial and I loved her. And I loved her makeup, so it was a no-brainer. When it comes to hair, it was a little bit harder because I have my usual people that I work with for fashion weeks and who I love how they do their job. Right? They're great for those fashion things, but just like for the makeup, I didn't want to look on my wedding day like I'm going to a fashion event or feel like it's work, because you know, when it's fashion week, I have my team and my team is covering so many different things, like from hair to logistics and things, and I did not want to feel on my wedding day like it's fashion week. Kind of like something like the fragrance. You don't want to have the same fragrance that you use every single day of your life on your wedding day, or do you? You know what I mean? It is a quite difficult decision. So I ended up picking Sebastian Iskander, who I have worked with only once, but I really loved his energy because the moment we met, he felt like a friend to me, and I wanted to look like a pretty bride. You know what I mean? Not like a fashion event type of thing. So it was, again, not a very difficult decision for me to make, but I thought like I wanted it to be different to how my everyday is, but still not to be too fashionable, to be more classic and traditional. And I wanted everything to be kind of soft, easy. that's regarding makeup and hair. I also have to tell you that I'm such a type B bride that I did not book makeup and hair 1 year ahead at all. I've just done my hair and makeup trials, which means that it was very much last minute. So I had my hair trial, I think like 20th of June or something, and my makeup trial on 27th of June or 26th of June. So yeah, guys, very intense. This question I wanted to answer kind of shocked me, to be honest. It says, why you look so tired and bored all the time lately? I don't know. I genuinely could not answer that question because I don't know why I look bored and tired, but I'm not tired and definitely not bored. I mean, tired sometimes at night, but I'm usually not vlogging when I'm tired, but bored, I'm definitely not. I have so much on my plate to not be bored that I'm actually never a bored person. So I don't know, maybe it's something that you see. If you perceive me as tired and bored, maybe it's something you see in yourself, in me, and it's kind of reflecting on you in a way that maybe I look like how you look when you're tired and bored. But at the moment, I'm really not tired and bored. I'm just thinking that sometimes we perceive things, what's known to us. Maybe I'm just Eastern European also. You guys know the Slavic face is not a myth. It is a real thing, actually. Whew, next question is the root of all of my problem. How are you and Filippo dividing the wedding planning? Is it better for one to take the lead? So this is how Filippo and I are doing the wedding planning. We obviously speak to our planner a lot, and she would say things and he would not listen, and we would have to repeat things again, which is what is, I find, very, 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 very difficult, but it is what it is. He's the man I picked. It's all right. The thing is that Filippo likes to change his mind a lot about things. So he would be like, maybe it should be a cocktail, maybe it should be seated, maybe it should be a cocktail, maybe it should be seated. Whereas I'm so decisive and precise and I know exactly what I want. There's no like going back and forth for me. I have not done trial with like several hair and makeup people. I've done with one and I liked it. I knew what I wanted. I didn't even have to do a trial. You know what I mean? So I'm a very, very decisive person. Filippo tends to change his mind a bit, and that's the root of my problems, because it's not easy when someone changes their mind a lot. So, however, I'm happy that I can say that because he's not around. He wouldn't like probably me to say that much, but it's a fact. And I understand that he has very good experience in planning so many different things, and he has very good taste. He's a man with great taste. That's why he picked me. No, I'm just kidding. Like, that's, yeah, kind of very self-obsessed and arrogant, and I'm just kidding. What I mean by he has very good taste is he is really a man that knows how to make like things cooler and better, and how to do things with a little bit more of a twist and not too obvious or classic or whatever. So I personally love his touch, but he just needs to be a little bit more practical sometimes, and he's not very practical, which is very surprising considering he's a Virgo, but it is what it is. Last question here, and then I'm gonna go grab a coffee. What does marriage mean to you? Sending lots of love. Sending lots of love to you too. Well, the marriage means to me a lot. I think marriage is a big, big, big commitment, a big responsibility. It's not something you just kind of like enter in easily or like lightly. You know, you need to take marriage as a serious, like it's a family union. It's a new family that gets formed. So both Filippo and I take it very seriously. Otherwise we wouldn't be getting married, or otherwise we would be married like, who knows, in our 20s and probably divorced by now, or I don't know. Wedding itself is important to be nice and beautiful and easy for our guests, but wedding itself is not as important to me as marriage is, because marriage is for life. Wedding is for 3 days, and marriage is something that is also very scary, because as we grow old or we age, we tend to change as people. I have changed certainly since I was in my 20s, since I was in my late 20s, since I was in my early 30s, and now in my other half of my 30s as a decade, I feel like I'm a completely different person. I really am someone who can adapt and change and really learn from certain situations. And we need to see how we're gonna age together, how we're gonna grow old together, how we're gonna go through different situations together, good and bad. So marriage is really such a serious and big thing. A lot of it is in how you look at it. You need to be tolerant, you need to be kind, you need to be loving, and you need to be patient with the other person, and you need to be willing to work on it, besides all the good stuff that come with it. Because there are so many perks with a marriage, obviously, like so many good things when having a great partner. There are also things like work, and you need to work on those relationships. And whoever tells you like, oh, it was so easy, I felt like my relationship with Filippo was easy because he could understand, but it was also work. We both had to work, we both had to find ways. Like, I had to move countries, we moved 6 times the house. We went through good, through bad. We had to like explain to one another who we are as people. It was not just woke up and like, boom, we're getting married, it's so great. It was a lot of boundary setting. It was a lot of communicating. And that's what marriage is for me. Marriage for me is communication and really listening to the other person, because if you don't listen, you just wake up one day next to a stranger and you're wondering, who is this person even? That's something I would like to avoid if possible. I really think I need a coffee, because it's gonna be a long day. We're back here. I realized I never actually shown you what's in here, and I haven't done unboxings in so long on here, mainly because I've unboxed majority of my things either on Shorts on YouTube or on the other app, you know. So I thought I'd treat you guys with something. This is something I've ordered back in. My husband is calling. Yes, my love is bringing me a coffee because it's best. So I ordered this. I wanted to check when I've ordered it. Hold on, because I really wanted it, and I've ordered a few pairs for the summer that I felt like were necessary in my closet. I ordered it on 13th of May. I ordered 1, 2, 3 pairs of shoes, and this is the first one that's arrived, and I'll discuss in more details about like everything, but I just wanted to show it to you first. Here it is. Very simple and classic, as you can see, and it is a pair of Oran flats in lizard ombre. This is what it looks like now. I already have a pair of Chypre with like a touch of lizard on top, and I really love them, to be honest. They're like great color with everything. It's kind of like a neutral, but it's not neutral. It's kind of a gray, but it's not gray. And I actually really am into lizard so much. The thing is though, they tend to get very yellow in the sun. So I asked my SA, so what do you want me to do? And she's like, just don't wear it in direct sun. And I was like, so where should I wear it? On the mountain? And we laughed about it in the shop. And that's the only thing about it. I don't like it when it gets yellow. I'll insert a picture of how the lizard looks like when it gets yellow. I don't love it when it gets yellow, but it is what it is. I'll just have to like avoid leaving them in the sun. Like if I'm, for example, by the sea, I'll put them under my bed so they don't get UV exposure and things like that. But I think they're very cute and nice. I'll insert a little video of what they look like on. Filippo is so cute. He's also getting me some like cakes, because yesterday I ordered the cake at Cedric Grolet and I didn't like it. Okay, so now you can see the shoes as well. I'm gonna place it somewhere where they should live. Okay, so one thing to show you is here I keep my flats, okay, but here I keep my sandals. So this should be kind of here. Besides these, I don't know why they're here. They should be in high heel section. So I don't know, even like I need to properly color coordinate them. I don't know if you've seen these already on my Instagram. If not, go and check them out. I think I'll put them up here for the time. Oh, there is something up here. What is, it's another pair of kitten heels. Okay, I need to reorganize things because things are not really vibing right now. I need to figure things out because sometimes things, you know, get a bit messy, and that's okay. But in the meanwhile, I'm just gonna get rid of the boxes. I want to keep these in the slides, and I also need to keep my sighties. Okay, this is done. Can go out. Also, today I stopped by at Sephora for some last minute things. I just wanted to get, I already used it. I wanted to get some Summer Fridays under eye serum. I really love this product. It's great. I got some ordinary glycolic acid. I'm sure you've seen this before. It's for face and body. I use it mainly for body, not for the face. Here it is. But guys, this gives you the most insane glow. And like, you know, if you have like strawberry skin, it gives the most insane smooth skin if you have like strawberry skin or any issues. I don't really have strawberry skin, but I want to have the most insane angelic skin, especially like on my legs and on my arms, you know. So you just do a little bit like this. I'm not going in the sun today, so I don't have to be worried, because also if you go in the sun, you have to be a little bit careful with burning when you obviously apply acid on. It just gives like a really nice smooth skin because it kind of exfoliates, and yeah, you get the glow. You know what I mean. So that's something really that I need to get. I got some, nothing like jet lag mask. I got some products that I need, but I won't need that much. Also because Andrea is bringing some stuff as well for me, so it's all good. I need to put this, I'll put it in here for now, it's okay. So that's it. Filippo is gonna bring me a suitcase in a bit and we're gonna start packing. Just before I wrap it up, I want to show you two other products that I'm really loving. It's the Say Super Suede bronzer in Portofino. It's so beautiful. I really, really, really love it. And this Ilia Eye Stylus Shadow Stick. It's just like a shadow stick, okay? So yeah, can't even see it. Maybe not because we have a lot of light, but I have been applying it kind of in these inner corners of my eyes, and it's very forgiving what you do with it. I don't know if you can see anything. I don't have a mirror now, so maybe I did nothing, but I really, really love these two products. Lately, I've been loving. And one thing that's completely changed my under eye, especially in these sunny days, is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Plus Eye Cream. This product over here, it's so beautiful for under eye region. I love it, love it, love it, love it. You guys know I love Ole Henriksen lip balms. I'm not going to talk about them anymore because generally I'm embarrassed even to talk about it. But I've loved this facial mist as well. It's like a peach glaze glow mist and it gives such a nice glow. I mean, I have it on already, so you can see like my forehead looks really glowy, but it's such a fine mist that you don't feel like you're wet afterwards. You know, you feel like just refreshed. This I need to not forget to pack with me because it smells nice, it's refreshing, it's very summery, it's beautiful, love it. But the way what this does, I just also love it under makeup. Like, it's great, such a good product. I'll show you the texture because I don't know if you've seen it when I showed it to you guys. And this is just my genuine organic, like, I mean, everything here. You guys know this channel already, but in case you're new here, I love it. It's very brightening, very moisturizing, and even after a while you have this kind of glow. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. But anyway, love it. That's that. I'm waiting for my coffee and we'll get back to questions. One last thing to tell you is that I cannot wait to call Filippo my husband. My husband. Like, it's just, he has his faults. I mean, he's a man. That's already a fault, right? But the way that he soothes my soul is the only thing that makes sense with this wedding planning. That does not sound very positive, but like when planning a wedding, A, you spend a lot of money, B, you spend a lot of time, a lot of effort. You cannot please everybody. You cannot like make it perfect for everybody. There's always someone that's like maybe not gonna like the meat, or someone that's not gonna like the caviar or whatever, right? It's the people you love. I mean, even when I'm preparing like soup for my sister, she ends up not liking it. Okay, also I come from a Balkan family. Like, my family is never truly happy. Like, they're never pleased with everything. Of course they're gonna not appreciate something because they're my family, and that's kind of how we roll in the Balkans. We're not the kind of family that is like, so grateful, thank you so much, you were so beautiful, everything is so wonderful. They're gonna be like, no, your hair, or like whatever, I don't know, maybe not the hair, maybe they're gonna have comments on the dress and whatever, which is why it was so important for me to like everything, because only then I will know that I'm happy with my choices and I don't care what everybody else thinks. The interesting thing is that even with like a stress of preparing and trying to please people and trying to do it as good as you can, I just like know that when I wake up, or when I woke up this morning, knowing I'm my husband's wife and that it's about us, it's all that really matters to me. Okay, Filippo's trousers are ready. Remember that he was tailoring them last minute with the boots, so at least one thing is done. I mean, in the last second. He is waiting in a loaded car outside and he doesn't have his wedding suit. Also, but how risky is it me carrying a coffee and Filippo's wedding pants in one hand? I mean, you've seen them already. Filippo's suit for his wedding is Schiaparelli. It's actually insane. And I'm so happy with his choice and his look, and the pants are white, and I'm carrying this coffee all in one hand. I just can hope that nobody will run into me because I need to vlog you guys, you know? my YouTube audience always comes first. Did I tell you he's always making friends? Or did I not tell you he's always making friends? The man is never quiet. This man is always chatting, and I love him for it.
They came to me.
I just showed Filippo the video that I did, which I think is so funny, because I always tell him that he's always making friends, and he's like, that's not so true. But obviously the thing is, like, it was two loveliest followers, mother and a daughter. You would never tell that they're mother and daughter. They look like look like sisters or friends.
They were so nice.
So nice, so beautiful, so sweet. And I love it, like, because, you know, Filippo loves it.
And you know, every time they come from Poland, it feels like very close to our heart, because, you know, we love Poland, and
I love Poland. And now you guys also know. Maybe now you have not seen my dress yet, but one of my wedding dresses was custom made by Magda, and it took more than 200 hours of work.
Yeah, that's why we love
And
so much.
my last trip to Poland was so emotional, and I just sat down. I almost missed my flight because I sat down and I just chatted to Magda for until I basically barely missed my flight. I tried my dress, loved my dress, met the woman that was making it. She was making it while I was there still. It was just, cannot even tell you how much actually Magda made me love Poland even more also. On top of the pierogi and the other stuff that I love in Poland. I'm in such a good mood now.
Yeah.
We are about to be reunited soon with our families. Or actually no, with our family, because now we're one family.
Yep.
How does it feel? We're almost one family. I don't know, Mr. Testa, if you wanted to help me answer some questions. Someone's asked, how come you're not sharing the wedding on Substack? We want to see the special day. If you follow me on Substack, probably by now you would have seen I wrote a very personal letter to you guys. What did the last week before wedding look like? And I've shown like a lot of things here and there, so wanted to just, be very, very honest and personal. I know that not everybody is subscribed to the Substack, not everybody is interested in reading my personal letters, and I completely understand, so that's absolutely fine. In case you would like to read it or would like to read them, go and check it out. We're looking at the clouds and what they look like. I love the next question. Are you ready?
Are we doing the...
Just I want to answer this question.
Okay.
The next question said, is your dad nervous? Guys, my dad would never admit it to me, but my dad is so nervous, Filippo.
I think he's very nervous.
Oh my God, he is so nervous that he is the whole reason why we are doing a Friday rehearsal during lunch, because he needs to see how he's gonna bring me down the aisle, where he's gonna sit, where he's gonna stand. My dad is a very, very, very studious person. He is one of the most educated people that I know, and he studied how the protocol should be, how the weddings should be. He studied everything, but he still needs to see it in person. He needs to do a little tests on how to do it. And Filippo also scared him, because Filippo was telling him how all eyes will be on him and how important it is. And the last call,
I just told him that he's the most important man of the wedding after me. That's it.
Funnily enough, we were having a call the other day, and he asked my dad, Filippo, he asked him, he calls him Tata, which in Serbian means dad. And he said, Tata, how do you feel knowing that I'm gonna take your daughter off your hands, so you're gonna bring her to me and you're gonna give her to me, and she's not your problem anymore? And my dad said, Filippo,
He said, Filippo, my daughter will always be my problem. You will see when you have kids, he said.
He said, you will see one day when you have your kids. Your daughter is always your problem. So my dad is very nervous. I think my dad, obviously you guys never met my dad. Maybe you will now at the wedding. Probably you will meet him very soon. But my dad is the most Balkan kind of dad you can imagine, in a way that he doesn't really openly show his feelings. he's kind of like, you know, very stoic, hard, like tough man, but he's very emotional. And as he's aging, he's become more and more sensitive and more prone to really showing feelings, which he wasn't while we were growing up. He was quite more tough, but always quite sensitive. He's also a youngest child in his family. I'm so excited to share this day with my parents, you guys. Like, I think that's one of the biggest blessings that God has graced me with. So, yeah. We are driving home to our second home. Not for Christmas, but for the wedding. Look where we are, you guys. We traveled. Okay, first I should tell you what time it is. It's 2:50 and I am absolutely exhausted. Woke up in the morning, did so many things, went to tailor, tried on lots of things with my sister. I need to fix like my shoes I have not received or tried or anything like that. There's so many things I need to do, but what I want to do really honestly is remove makeup, go to bed, do a lot of LED mask and just do nothing. This morning, Filippo was also trying on his suits and my sister and I, we were in bed and I was just looking at him and I was literally thinking, wow, so gorgeous. I mean, for me, you guys will understand that, obviously. It's my hubby, so it is what it is, but I wanted to show you something else. So I think I wanted to give you a lot more answers. We were talking about that. You guys asked me, what's one thing you've learned about your relationship while planning the wedding? Honestly, there wasn't really like one thing per se. Sorry about the chaos. You know how it is, right? It's intense. I learned that when you are planning a wedding, it's not a big wedding, but it's a lot to plan and do. And I realized that's the case because it's the same for my friend Kate, who's also planning a wedding. So it's not an isolated case. I just want to like film some stuff after I film this. That's why I'm adding a little bit of makeup and then I'm going to remove everything. Cannot wait. I realized that it's really put some strain on the couple. Like if there are things that you disagree on. Like when we were doing the seating chart, I think I vlogged that. We did it in 1 hour, but like when I disagreed with Filippo, I could not say it nicely. I was like, are you okay? Like you cannot put these people here. And he was like, are you okay? Why are you talking to me like this? It was like quite intense, you guys, you know? So you realize and you make it towards the end. I mean, like at that point when we were already doing the seating chart, I was quite much more like relaxed and it was all fine, but I still realized it wasn't like an easy thing to kind of like agree on certain things that you really disagree on, but both of you, it's never like, you know, okay, let's put it this way. If I'm getting dressed and Filippo doesn't like my outfit, I don't really care if I like it. If I like it, I'm like, okay, baby, too bad this time you don't like it, but you know, it is what it is. But then, for example, if you don't like a seating chart, it's a problem because it's both of ours wedding. It's not just mine and it's not just his. And I know that like a lot of the times people will say like bride has a little bit more of a priority, but not in our couple in that way because I'm not really a bridezilla and Filippo is very serious about certain details that are very important to him, which were not that important to me. So I realized how important it is to communicate in like a nice way that the other person can understand and that it's not impossible. It's possible, but it takes a lot of effort. That's what I realized. And we never had anything we disagreed on. Really, like honestly, genuinely, we both like the same art, we both like the same chair. We always like, whenever we furnished the home, it was so easy. We never disagreed on anything. But when it came to wedding planning, we disagreed on things. We disagreed on a lot of things. And like sometimes what I told you earlier, that Filippo would change his mind a lot, that's the reason why we disagreed. So like we would agree on cake and then a year later, literally, he would be like, I changed my mind. Whereas me, I'm like very decisive person. So those were the things that I found were quite like difficult, but I learned how to communicate to him during this process, which was helpful. Did you pick your wedding dress for you or out of pressure because of your job? I think by now you would have already seen my wedding dress. You would not ask this question if you thought that I picked the dress out of pressure. There's literally not one trend in my wedding dress. There's not one Instagram aspect of me as a person online. It's absolutely for who I am inside. The dress was done for Tamara as herself. Like, I don't know how to explain this. It's a very classic traditional dress. There is nothing like viral or crazy or trendy about this dress. I did not want to have like these kind of like formative dresses that in 5 years' time would feel like, what did I get married in and why did I go so crazy? I know that for many women, wedding day is the day that they want to feel like princesses and like they want to have like huge embellished dresses and lots of things like that. I just wanted to be who I am. And at the end of the day, I'm very, very, very classic girl, quite simple when it comes to what I wear in my private time. And this is the most private of all private times, I think. So in a way, this dress, well, obviously it was designed by Peter from Alaya and the Alaya team, made by Alaya team. There's nothing really simple about it. Simple sounds like basic. It was not basic. It was structured, it was architectural, it was made of like finest silk. It was not performative in any way. Okay, this is pre-wedding, so I don't know what you guys think about it when you saw the dress, but I'm pretty sure that people will say like, oh, I expected more like embellishments or maybe more, I don't know what, like huge dresses or huge crazy things on it, but that's not who I am. I'm not this kind of like performative and grandiose person. I don't have an alter ego. This is who I am, and I wanted to feel like myself on the day. So there was absolutely no pressure. I think if I felt pressure of social media, it would probably be a little bit more of a performative dress, like with embellishments and the train and like a veil that is fully embellished or who knows what. How are you feeling in this moment before your wedding? I'm feeling very nervous. Like I'm about to go out to a very important event to like, I feel like my chest is tight and I feel butterflies in the stomach. It's bearable. It's not unbearable nervous. It's quite, I feel nervous. Any Serbian vendors, hairstylists or makeup artists that you're using? So I've already told you who the hair and makeup artists are. But yes, we do Serbian vendors. Now, I have to think of all the vendors we have. Honestly, it's quite insane because I think that like if someone told me before I was planning a wedding, what are the vendors that you have during the wedding, I would think, okay, it's hair, makeup, it's florist, it's catering, and music. What else could there be? Guys, when I tell you what I've learned throughout this process, there is production and furniture people, and there is so much more. Obviously stationery I knew because you have to send the invites. Our friends just only recently received theirs. But honestly, for me, when I chose my husband or when I choose my friends or when I chose vendors for my wedding, I think that I had the world's best team working on it, literally the world's best team. And I think I got lucky as well with that. It's not just that I'm so good at knowing who's the best, but I had like the most incredible team, and I have people from Sweden, Romania, Italy, France, Mexico, Serbia, United Kingdom, Germany, Austria, so many different countries because I pick people based on the quality of their work, not on where they're from. And I think I mentioned to you in one of my recent videos that for stationery we worked with Alexandra from Lava Design. And guys, I know I already told you how amazing she was, and obviously I don't want to be like praising my own, but she's so incredible. Like my mom called me last night and she was like, Tamara, she's such a lovely, lovely woman. And you know, my mom is quite like, I would say, a strict Eastern European woman who grew up in communism, you know, it was like very much of a disciplined time back then. And she was like, this woman is so wonderful to work with. She's helped so much. She's personally bringing everything printed out, like things that my mom is now bringing for the wedding. She was incredible. So yeah, Alexandra from Lava Design, if you need to print out anything, I mean from anywhere around the world, but like specifically in Serbia, I guess would be easy. She's so great and I really, 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 really loved having her. I told you I have so many different countries. I need to think about like everything and everyone, but we have obviously the dresses came from Poland, from the United Kingdom, from the US, and from France. We have a lot of different things and things that kind of shaped me and countries that also shaped me growing up. I moved a lot. I lived in a lot of different places, so this kind of made sense for me, you know what I mean? But equally so, like when I chose a husband, growing up I thought there's no chance, like of course I'm gonna marry like someone from Serbia. But then I realized that you don't choose your friends or your partner based on where they're from. You choose them by how they are, how's their soul. You don't choose people by passport, you choose them by their heart. And that's how I kind of approached my wedding as well. Which part of the wedding are you most excited about? I'm so excited. And I will tell you about this after it's done. About Filippo seeing me walk down the aisle and his face. I'm excited about my dad bringing me like first look with my dad. I'm excited about getting ready with my bridesmaids and having rakia shots because my mom is bringing rakia from my hometown. She's also bringing some chocolates with Petrovaradinska tvrđava, which is like a landmark in my home city, on it. She's bringing some stuff. We're not having Serbian traditions as such. Maybe I will answer about that in a sec, I don't know. But I'm so excited about those moments. Obviously partying with my friends, celebrating, and then Sunday morning recap. Very excited. Will someone film the wedding? Will there be content for YouTube? I genuinely think you will know very soon, but I cannot promise anything or I cannot say anything because my goal, and I hope you guys will understand me, is to enjoy my day. I have not like hired crews to film like vlogs, and I don't plan on like vlogging, but if I feel like, because it's my life to pick up the camera and vlog, if it feels natural to do that, I will do that. But if it feels like it's just adding stress and adding anxiety to my day that I should enjoy, I'm not gonna do that. So we're kind of ready for both options, and we're gonna have to kind of go with that. When did you choose your wedding dress? Ooh, my wedding dress I chose. You will not believe it when I tell you, but I chose my wedding dress 3 years ago. In December 2024, I had my first meeting with Alaya, and in February 25, I had my dress designed. The design of the dress was done, so it was very easy. I thought I wanted something else, then discussed it, and then Peter had Müller from Alaya, he had ideas. He wanted to hear where's the wedding, etc. I provided all the information. I told him like Como. In the meanwhile, we kind of changed where we wanted, and I was like, oh my god, what is Peter gonna say now? He's already designed the dress for Como, like, and stuff, you know? They've offered me several different sketches. We thought then we're gonna get married in Portofino. In the meanwhile, we changed our mind because it was impossible. Like Como was impossible, but Portofino, like this one villa, was a nightmare to agree on anything. They barely let me choose the dress that I wanted to get married in, basically. And in the end, I was like, you know what? I love this dress, and that's it. That's this dress I love. So then we went back to Como, booked our venue, and I still realized that for the last 2 years, I just adored the same dress. I love the same dress, and it's the one that I'm so happy that I'm wearing. I cannot wait. I feel like myself in that dress. I don't feel like I'm putting on a costume. I don't feel like I'm putting on a face or a show. I'm putting a dress that I think makes sense for me. Like, I'm not putting a sample for a red carpet. I'm not putting a sample for something. It's not like, oh, this is a vision for a good photo shoot. This is the wedding dress that I want to get married in. And that's it. That's it. Me as a bride is this. Someone asked, how long of a break are you thinking of taking from YouTube? A month or a year? Guys, do you think I could take a year from YouTube? Of course not. Definitely not that much. We're gonna go for a little honeymoon after we get married and just like enjoy some time, the two of us. I don't know. I don't think I will take any content, honestly. From there, I just want to enjoy with my new husband. So that's the plan. And then that is it. Then I'll be back because I will miss you. Do you guys think it's going to be so easy to for you to get rid of me? I don't think so. I'm sorry, like, to disappoint you. If you thought you guys will, you know, get a year off without me. I mean, a year later, if I come back a year later, I will be a different person because you guys know that I tend to change a lot. Sorry to disappoint those who are hoping internet without me, but you're going to have to try harder. Just kidding. I love this question. Will any Serbian traditions be in the wedding? Not really, and I will tell you why. I'm Serbian, but my family is not from Serbia. I obviously came to Serbia very young, when I was 3, as a refugee. And when you come as a refugee to a country, you kind of start learning about its customs, about its traditions and things like that. Those traditions and customs in Serbia are very different from the customs and traditions of where my parents grew up. So for me to, like, for example, have like some very Serbian traditions that I've like read about, but I've never actually seen them in real life, like buying the bride. There's like a tradition where there's like buying a bride. Filippo would love to buy a bride. Filippo would love to shoot an apple. There's like a shooting an apple as well. You guys can look into this, or I can tell you more about it. And I love these traditions at other people's wedding, but if I put those traditions into my wedding, it wouldn't feel like my wedding. Why? Because it's not something I've seen in my family. It's not something that I've seen anybody do growing up. It's not something that I've seen really done at all the weddings that I've been to growing up in family, etc. So I think like there was a moment of like picking up the bride. I've seen that, but for various logistical reasons, we would not be doing that. Those kind of traditions, no. I'm currently in talks with band because I would like some touches of my culture as well. And I'm honoring my family and our traditions in different ways. So I think I've told you that I have certain things that are very personal to me kind of woven through the wedding, and maybe we can talk about it as well after it. I love this comment. It says, not a question, but this is my royal wedding. Hope you have the best time. I also hope so. I cannot wait. Who's crying first, the ceremony or him? Guys, I'm crying already. Like this morning, I listened to my Walking Down the Aisle tune and I cried. I'll have to like, even like reading last night my vows, I read it to my sister so she can give me her feedback, because Filippo will for sure read her his, and mine's a little bit longer because he gets a speech after. And I also cried. And my sister said you have to read it many times so you get desensitized, so you don't cry. I know. I think I'm gonna wrap this vlog here. I will have to answer a bunch of other questions after the wedding, which when you're watching this is already after the wedding, but I would like to actually answer some more after you've seen it as well, and after I have lived through it, because I have not lived through it on the day that I'm filming this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you understand why this video was Q&A, because my life currently is a mess like this, but that's okay, it's a good mess, and I just want to like immerse myself in it and enjoy it without thinking like, oh, hold on, I need to post this, I need to film this, etc. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you for all of your love, for your comments. Also, if you haven't seen my wedding dress, then I think like you might have to tune in on the other platforms, because right now I am a Mrs. Yep. Love you. Bye guys.